Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. Today on Just Make It, I need to finish this off. It's almost done. This is my third hand slash marking gauge, and all I really need to do is add a couple of knobs to it so I can tighten it down in a given position. And to do that, all I need to do is, drill a couple holes, screw a couple of these in, and then of course add the bolts. Now, I don't want to do it just that way because, well, the bolts are going to look all that nice. And I want to keep it looking reasonably well because I've actually a fair amount of effort into this. Now, these little things came with this. This is the drill bit they recommended, and I tried to tighten those in with that, and I probably could have gotten it in. It's going to be a really, really tight fit, and I was kind of concerned that if I forced it too much, I would end up, splitting the wood, and I didn't want to do that at this point because, again, I put a lot of work into this. So all I'm going to do here is go up. I think it's only like a 64th of an inch. I happen to have a drill bit that was just ever so slightly larger than that. Unfortunately, after that, I have its next size up is considerably larger. I don't have anything in that size in increments, so you see the case over there. When you get into the small drill bit sizes, there's a really nice array of different sizes. But when you get into the bigger ones, it's not, because I guess it's just too expensive. So I'm going to, as you can see here, put these in. It's still actually quite a tight fit, but it's a lot better now than it was with the recommended drill bit. So I'm going to screw these all the way in. Now they're going quite well, and the nice thing about it being this tight is I don't have to add anything to it. I don't have to put on any epoxy or anything else. Just screw it all the way in, and that's it. You see I've countersunk it. That's actually not really necessary as far as the function of this, except these bolts only have a given amount of thread, and then you get the solid shaft. And I need enough of it to stick through. That's the reason why I widen up the hole so the whole thing can go down a lot further. And that's it. That's all I really need to do. This is now functional technically. And, I don't want to leave it like that because, the bolt looks, it's ugly. So what I'm going to do now is come up with a system for putting on, using the exact same wood, something that looks a lot nicer. I mean, this functions, but we'll just make it look nicer. Now, I haven't really done much in the way of turning this particular wood down on the lathe, so I wanted to try something a little bit different. I wanted to keep it as true as possible, so that way the outside diameter is going to be nice and comfortable in my hand, not too thin. So I cut a couple of they're just 45s, and they're going to sit here like this, and then I'm going to make a little V notch. This is just all test templates. I'm not sure if I'm really going to do a lot of work this way. So this is all just temporary, just going to try it out. And it worked out quite well. I'm very happy with it. And if I decide that I want to do a lot more work in this style, like getting dowels or knobs or whatever you want to call them, of thicker diameters, then I don't want to buy them because they get expensive. It works nicely, so I may make something a little bit more permanent to do this. So there you go, got a nice 45. Just a simple matter now of taking two of these and gluing them onto another piece of scrap wood. Again, this is all just a temporary jig. I didn't want to spend much time doing it. I wanted to, like I said, test this out, see if it was worth something, something worth following, or following up on. So very quick, very simple. Not even put any screws in this. Going to let that set, clamp it, of course. And then what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of strapping. I do a lot of that work. Sorry, I should say I used to do an awful lot of work attaching things to the underside of aquarium canopies. So I got this really nice nylon coated strapping with lots of holes in it, of course. And I don't really use it that much anymore, so I have a fair amount around, and I thought this would be quick and simple. Just mold it to the outside of it and screw it in on both sides, and that's it. That's all I need to do, really. I fiddled with it a little bit to make sure, you see it's a little loose there right now. It took a little bit of extra work to make sure it was clamped down nice and tight. I want this to be able to move in and out without undoing the screws, but I don't want it to wiggle at all. So there you go. That's it. Now it's in place. Now it's a simple matter of doing a little bit of math, not much really, and knowing exactly how much how much I need to cut off so that they're all equal. This is going to turn this, once I do all four corners, into an octagon. And that's going to fit into the lathe chuck much nicer than, the way I used to do this was to, pare off a fair amount of this and then go over to the belt sander and try to make it relatively round. And that's fine, really, but you do end up with a round product in the end anyway. But this guarantees that as much of the material as possible is going to stay in. So there you go. That's what it looks like coming off the saw. And I just took over the bandsaw and nipped off those little corners. And that's all I need to do. This is going to fit into the chuck. And this is the part I like the most about this. When I turn this on in a second here, you can see that there's no run out. It actually was easy to line up and get this set so that it, like I said, if there's too much run out, I would end up having to pare off, again, way too much material. So I'm not going to show you all this. I didn't want to waste too much video on that, but there you go. This is the dowel, and now all I need to do is cut a chunk of this off, and two chunks actually for each of them, and then put a test hole, just a quick center hole. I did this because I didn't want to go to all this trouble making that really nice and straight, and then take a long drill bit and have it not quite go down the exact center. So started the hole with that, and I'm just going to run this all the way through, and then off camera I'm going to run through a much larger diameter, a 1/2 inch bit, just through about a little over a third of this, because I want to cap this. I don't want this to be having the bolts sticking on the outside. You'll see what I mean here in a second, because this is what it's going to look like if I didn't do that part, and then the bolt's going to sit there like that, and that's ugly. So I ran it through the 1/2 inch. This is going to fit in obviously quite well, and then I'm going to take a bit of 1/2 inch dowel, and I'm going to run that through there and glue that in place and cap it. So there you go. And that is a couple of knobs made, and it was very easy. It didn't take long at all, not compared to making the rest of it. But it'll make it a lot nicer looking, especially when it's all in place here. So this is the last thing to do. Actually, one other thing I'm going to do off camera, of course, is sand this and put a bit of oil on it just to keep it nice and fresh. And of course, you can see this needs a bit of sanding as well. And I'm going to get to see this. This is going to be used. I'm going to use it in putting together my new wood storage station. So that'll be the next few videos, and please come back and have a look at it. And of course, let me know what you think of this. This is a little bit over-engineered, I know, but I got started on this, and then I wanted to look nice, and you know how it goes. I just end up tweaking one little piece, then tweaking the next little piece, and then in the end, it worked out well. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Leave comments. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.